Welcome, everybody, to Library Out Loud, the official podcast for Handley Regional Library System. I'm Matt Swain, Public Relations Manager for the system and host of the podcast. Today, we're joined by Susan Sherhart. Susan is a lifelong hiker. She's a camper, a self-described nature nerd, and she also serves as the co-chair of the Warren County Front Royal Appalachian Trail Community Committee. So she loves everything about nature. We are so excited to have her here with us because she's actually the host of one of our programs called Third Thursdays that she's going to talk all about, and we have a really packed program to talk all about hiking and some recommendations and all sorts of great things. So Susan, welcome and thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you, Matt. It's nice to be here and I appreciate the opportunity to talk about this new series that we're doing with the library.
Well, this is fantastic. It's been a really popular series, Third Thursday. And why don't you tell us a little bit about this? Maybe give us some background. I know you're the host of this. You've got a lot of great special guests on here that share their hiking experience. It's also a lot of times a life-changing experience. And I know that I've attended the sessions and they're really fantastic, very informative. And I really like just how personal and entertaining they get.
Oh, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that feedback. It has been a wonderful journey so far. And the idea for the program actually was born by Gary Green, who's the owner of Mountain Trails Outfitters with locations here in Winchester and Front Royal. We serve together on the local Appalachian Trail Community Committee and partner on events that promote the outdoor experiences or that promote our region as an outdoor destination recreation area. We both have a personal mission to bring as many people into the outdoors that we can. So for example, this past October, we helped organize the Back to Nature celebration that was held on Main Street in Front Royal. Also this past fall, Gary had planned to bring Jennifer Farr Davis to a local venue to talk about her record-setting through hike of the Appalachian Trail, and also to talk about her recently published book, Pursuit of Endurance. Due to the pandemic, however, this in-person event had to change to a virtual platform. And we were able to do that with the help of the Friends of Handley Regional Library. And that was when I was asked to host the virtual program. And working with Barbara Dickinson, who's with the Friends of Handley Regional Library, was an exceptionally wonderful experience. She's an amazing person. And working with her through that process laid the groundwork for this series. So since the outdoors has always been essential to people like Gary and I, and to many other local outdoor enthusiasts, you know, we love it so much, but the pandemic now showed how essential the outdoors is to a much larger percentage of the population. And we are really fortunate to live in this region because the outdoor opportunities are endless, whether it's a national park, a national forest, the Shenandoah River, and all the state, county, and local park systems that exist. So this program was developed to share with our community and beyond to meet the demand for the outdoor experiences by sharing what is available locally, how to participate, gear selection if needed, safety information, and where to find the providers. So our hope is that our residents engage and connect with the outdoors in new and fun ways. We also tell stories of local outdoor enthusiasts, what they are doing and where they are going to have these adventures to provide inspiration and motivation. If they can do it, I can do it, and so can you. Each episode also covers a topic of conservation related to that outdoor space, as we also educate on the importance of protecting and preserving our outdoor spaces for future generations. And ways to get involved in conservation efforts are also discussed. And you touched on our first two episodes, which directly talked about hiking the Appalachian Trail. So the first episode was with two young thru hikers who completed their treks within the past 2 years, what their hikes entailed, how they handled adversity, and other great information for future thru hikers. And then the next episode was the lifelong impact of an Appalachian Trail thru hike. And we interviewed several residents that actually discovered Front Royal during their thru hike and decided to relocate here. We discussed how the thru hike shaped their post-hike career choices and how they currently support the hiking community. Both of these episodes can be found on the Hanley Regional Library YouTube channel.
Well, Susan, that's fantastic. There's the next one is Third Thursday, Exploring the Outdoors, and that is on March 18th at 6:30 p.m. And folks can get to that information on our website, which is at hanleyregional.org. And you can actually register for that so that you can get the Zoom link and attend. And it will also show on our Facebook page, which is at Hanley Regional. Susan, can you go a little bit more detail into that program? I know that it's, climbing to new heights with Arthur Kearns. And can you go into his background a little bit more about what people can expect to learn?
Arthur Kearns is a world-class rock climbing instructor. He owns the Seneca Rocks Climbing School, the Gendarme Shop, which is a shop dedicated to gear necessary for rock climbing, and he, services the world, not just locally. So he's that well known. And he also happens to own Winchester Cider Works. So we will be talking about the world of rock climbing, some basic how-tos, basic gear that you need to do that, safety precautions, and where to climb locally. But I think what's going to be the exciting part of the program is his adventures of climbing in some really well-known places like El Capitan. So if you're familiar with the Free Solo movie, this will be something of interest to hear about his experience and also what he thinks about free soloing on rock climbing adventures.
Great. Yeah, we know that's going to be a great program. It's these series, the Third Thursday, is something that has it's taken off really well. And it is offered through the Friends of the Hanley Regional Library System with Barbara Dickinson. She is the executive director of that organization and really helps to look for community partners to bring these types of very, special interest in unique programs to the library system for the community. So very excited for this one to come up. And like we mentioned before, you can register on our website at hanleyregional.org. It is free and open to the public to attend. And of course, just like Susan mentioned, if you do miss the episode, it will be available on our YouTube channel as well. In addition to this one that's on March 18th, we do have several other topics that are coming up too as well. Isn't that right, Susan?
During the following months, we will enter the realm of river activities, get in step with Lisa Klepp, who climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, and explore topics of youth organizations like scouting, getting outdoors with limited physical abilities, how to build and maintain hiking trails, and we'll even speak with members of the local hiking support network for a recap of the 2021 hiking season and the impact of the pandemic on management and interactions along the Appalachian Trail.
I really like the word that I'm hearing out of this is local, because what we're doing through these programs and with you as the host is that, we're talking about these experiences with individuals who, they have different lives that they lead, different stories that they tell. And it's these, kind of localized experiences that they bring in, whether it's through hiking, and they can be even life-changing, but it's folks that are part of our own community and involved in, our own cities and towns and people that we know. And it's really just bringing it all back here so that people can really just kind of connect to that. And that's what I really like about it. It's a great story, great backgrounds with these, but it's bringing it strictly back to the community. One of the things that kind of reminds me of this is that also at Bowman Library, we do these programs because we also want to promote the outdoors and promote the area. At Bowman Library, we actually have the walking trail there. And if you haven't checked it out yet, certainly I encourage everyone to take advantage of that. You can take a quick hike, maybe on your lunch break, or bring the family, and you can go around the walking trail. And actually there's a story walk that's installed there now. And so you can read a story as you go and then visit the library. And hopefully as you're there, you can also register for Third Thursday to take advantage of the next program there. And Susan, you're going for the full experience here. I know that when we talked about this program, you looked up several reading recommendations for our listeners so that they can not just experience the virtual program online, but they can read about other hiking tips, about other hiking stories. And you did a fantastic job in looking up some of our reading recommendations and books that are available in the catalog on our website at hanleyregional.org. What books do you have recommended for our readers?
Well, first, I'm going to go with my girl, Jennifer Farr Davis, and recommend her book titled Becoming Odessa, chronicles her first through hike of the Appalachian Trail, an odyssey that she undertook after graduating college. And this hike transformed her and shaped her future life. And in her second book, entitled Called Again, she chronicles her record-setting through hike, completing the Appalachian Trail in a mere 46 days. The first woman to hold that record. And to understand the importance of that, the average time to complete a through hike of the Appalachian Trail is 6 months. So this story, though, is not just about setting records. It's a book about endurance and faith, and most of all, love. And it's the love for her husband as they undertake this journey together, and also how they grow deeper in love with the wilderness. And then the third book of hers that I'd like to encourage our listeners to read is Pursuit of Endurance. And in this book, she actually shares how to harness the power of resilience, power, and strength. And it's shared through the lens of time she spends with other men and women that have either held long distance hiking or running records, or have made attempts to set these type of records. Another favorite book about long distance hiking isn't really about a traditional hike. It's entitled Bold Spirit, Helga Espy's Forgotten Walk Across Victorian America by Linda Lawrence Hunt. The time period is 1896. A Norwegian immigrant and mother of 8 children named Helga Espy was behind on taxes and her mortgage when she learned that a mysterious sponsor would pay $10,000 to a woman who walked across America. And there were some very specific criteria that she had to meet. She had to wear a specific outfit, and she could only carry $5 at a time. And she had to walk. And she was in Eastern Washington, and she walked all the way across the country through 14 states to the city of New York. And she encountered snowstorms, hunger, thieves, mountain lions, and of course went through Indian reservations, western boom towns, with remote ranches, and had all sorts of wild adventures on this track. But it was treacherous and inspirational, and it challenged contemporary notions of femininity and captured the public imagination. But the trip did have devastating consequences, so much so that their achievement was blanketed in silence until a century later, Linda Lawrence Hunt encountered their extraordinary story and retells it in this book that we can visit as well. And also interactions with real people that serve as guides and teachers along the journeys of these main characters.
So those sound like some great recommendations. Obviously, I work at the library, but I tell you, when we have special guests on our podcast here, that's when I get to really learn about more of some of our reading recommendations. And I feel like after every episode, my to-be-read pile gets larger and larger. So that's good stuff. Well, Susan, thank you so much for joining us. You do a terrific job hosting Third Thursday, and so that everyone can learn all about hiking and the different experience and the different stories that go along with that. So certainly appreciate your time there. Our next event, again, remember, you won't want to miss this, everybody. It's on Thursday, March 18th. It's at 6:30 in the evening, and you'll learn about climbing to new heights with Arthur Kearns. You can register directly on our website. You'll get the Zoom link. You can watch it on Facebook, and very excited to see the focus of this one and where the story takes us. Well, Susan, again, thank you so much for joining us here on the podcast, Library Out Loud.
Well, thanks, Matt. This has been great fun, sharing Third Thursdays, exploring the outdoors with you and with the Hanley Library family. And I really appreciated this opportunity to share with everyone the outdoor experiences that are available here and sharing the stories of our local outdoor enthusiasts as well. Look forward to seeing everybody on Third Thursdays of every month. Happy trails.
Well, fantastic. Everyone, you can listen to other podcasts on Apple Podcasts or on SoundCloud. You can also access past episodes on our website at hanleyregional.org/podcast. And also, we are on iHeartMedia. So special thanks to our media sponsor for iHeartMedia to help Motor podcast and make sure that the community knows everything that the library has to offer in terms of programs and services.